You write the type of the model in this part here. So I'll just put the name of a random cements manufacturer here. And here in the model section, I'm going to write AAC, for example. In the next part, it needs you to write the cost down, and let's just put 0 in for now. And here it needs the address of the site that the information will be extracted from, and I'm going to just give the URL of the site that I opened up before. I hit OK, and then OK here again. I'm going to edit this to 3, then I'm going to hit OK again, and then after doing that, I'm going to go to the annotate section. Open the Keynote, and I go to the Keynote settings. And the settings, I'm going to choose browse, and then I'm going to go to the destination that I put the Keynote in. I hit a Ctrl+C to copy it, a Ctrl+V to paste it, and then open. Close this here and then OK. I hit view to see it. So there's a problem here, and in this part isn't shown correctly. This is the problem that I talked to you about. I hit save. I go back to the notepad. I save the notepad, and then I go to the save as option. And then I'm going to change the encoding to UTF-16BE. Then I rename it to V2, and then I'm going to write that after a dash here, and then I hit save. I close the notepad, and I go back to the Revit file and open up the Keynote section. And then I go again to the Keynote settings and I browse again. And then I load up the V2 part. But it seems we have a problem here. I think this problem occurs in the new Windows 10 version. But in normal circumstances, we don't have a Unicode that solves all these problems. So I open the notepad again. I hit save as. So let's change the encoding to this one here. I rename the file to V3. So let's go back to Revit file and browse again. Let's see what happens. I hit the V3 version and I open up. So it seems the problem hasn't been solved, so I just go back to the notepad again. I open it up and then I save as again, but this time I change the encoding to UTF-16LE, and I rename the file to the 4th version, V4. I save it and then I close the notepad. Let's just get rid of the other ones because they're not useful to us. Alright, let's go back to the Revit file now. And I browse again, and it seems that the reload is successful. I hit view again, and now it's been fixed. So the option here that says white trowel board, sand, and cement coating is not on our selection. So let's see why. So I hit OK to close it up, and then I go back to the notepad. And here it is in the W-02 line. I select the wall section and then I get rid of it. I hit tab and then Ctrl+V. If you could excuse me for 1 second. Tab and then Ctrl+V again. And there it is. So I go to the file section and I save it. Let's go back to the Revit and then I reload it again. Hit OK on this. The problem seems to be in the text of the wall that we had in the Keynote. It seems it hasn't loaded up correctly. So I'm going to delete it from here in this line. I hit Ctrl+X and then tab, Ctrl+V, and then tab again. And I write walls in here. I save the file again. Now let's go and check if we can reload it this time. So it seems like the issue hasn't been fixed yet. Let's see what we can do about it. Let's go back to the notepad file. I think an error or bug has appeared in this part where I've written walls. I hit a backspace to just get these two together, and then I save the file. I hit reload in the Revit again, and it seems like the issue has been fixed. And just like this. So I hit OK, and then I'm going to go back and choose the wall section. I hit edit type and I edit the material. Go over here and open this up, and I select this line here, a wall filled with light concrete blocks. So I go back, and this section, it's called the mark, and you can write the name of the brand that you want in here. So I'm just going to name the random manufacturer that we have and we used before. I hit apply. So after I've successfully done that, it's time to go to the next part, and that is the cut section. If you just pay close attention to the CAD file, we have a hatching here in front of the line. So I go back here and I click on the cut section. So I select this hatching here, which is the closest thing that we can find to our model. I double click on it, and in the orientation part, I'm going to choose the align with element. Or maybe let's just get a duplicate first so we can be sure. So in this duplicate, I'm going to write the name as ACC block. Just like this. Hit align with element again. And then I'm going to change the import scale to 0.5. Hit OK again. And another OK. And here I'm going to choose a color for it. After I've done that, I'm going to hit OK and then apply. It seems it's all fine, so I'm going to hit OK again, and there we go. Based on the information that we have in here, we have to pay close attention to the abbreviation that we have in BIM, and that I stands for information. B stands for building in here, M stands for modeling, as you know, and as I said, I stands for information. So building, information, modeling. And based on that, these are the informations that we need to put in. One part of it is the technical information that we have here, and it's all about our materials. You can take the information from the materials section that we had before, or you can just take them from the window that I've opened up here. It's all based on what's more useful to you. And in this section, you can add any extra information that you could find useful. Take a look at this part. What do we have here? We have Keynote. And what is our Keynote or user keynotes? In the Keynote section, you can write anything like this part in here. And then after that, you can fill in the information about the model or the brand, the description, the type mark, or anything that could come in handy. The cost, the fire rating, or anything that you want. Alright, now that I've explained that, let's hit OK. Let's go back to the structural plans. The plan that I've chosen needs to be down to the ground floor. So I'm going to go to this section and choose it. In the structural plans, let's just open this part up, and here let's see if we can find it, the ground floor, and it's this one right here. All right, and here from this menu here that says wall center line, we're gonna go up to the part that says core face exterior. I choose the pick line option, and let's just start the modeling. So it appears there's a problem and it doesn't show that the wall that we tried to draw over here. And the error says that there is a problem with the elements. So let's just check them. I go to the view section to see where I've tried to draw it. Let's go to the east view that we have here. I close this here, and it seems like the wall has been drawn. So let's just go to the north view. So the first important point that you need to know is the fact that we start the file from the underground level and we build it up, because we need the plan to be based on the foundation. Let's take another look at the CAD file. Let's take a look at the cut. Let's bring this over here. and it's here. Just pay attention to this part here. We draw a line right here, like this, and our base point is from minus 2.10, and that's where the ground starts. And let's take a look at this part in detail. Here, this part, it says the foundation code. So this one over here is our 0 level. This is where it starts. So we have the numbers here, the 30 centimeters and 10 centimeters that we have. And here in the part below, it says blockage. Just have that in mind before we go back to the Revit file. Here, so let's cut this up a bit. I take a save up to this point just in case. So I'm going to draw level right over here. So let's see where we should put it. And right here. And then I go to the structure section. So let's go over here again. And let's see what we should rename this one, because we need to edit it. I think I'm going to name it Underground Base Point Plan. And there you go. I hit yes on this window. I maximize it. I select all of it again. I right click on it and then I maximize again. So let's just see if this new level that we've drawn is up here in the level work set section. So I go over here and I select the CAD file that I had before. And I pull it up to here. And for the wall that we've drawn, I'm going to choose this point here as the baseline. Right here in the baseline wall. And I go over here and I select this here and I hit edit type. The hatching that we have in the course section, I'm going to select solid for it. And I'm going to choose the same orange color that we had before. OK on these. And then